Hey, let's go ahead. We have a quorum, we have 6 members present. I'm expecting maybe Member Erickson will be here. We haven't heard from him. Member Thompson's supposed to be here in a few minutes, hopefully, for Mr., or for Mrs. Member Metzger, and Member Barnett will not be here, but we have Vice Chairman Johnston. Okay, so we do have a quorum. You have approval of minutes, March 7th, 2022. In front of you, is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Soldner, second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? Additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion has passed. We don't have any members of the public who's appeared to speak. We'll go into departmental matters. I have appointments this month. It's a busy month for us, appointments and reappointments before you. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Martin, second by Member Johnston. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. And opposed? Motion is carried. We're going to item C, Information Technologies. Good evening. Let's go with C1, request approval of professional services agreement, which can be found on pages 6 through 31. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Schaefer, second by Member Solner. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion is passed. Next item is C2, request approval of software license, maintenance, and support agreement. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Schaefer, second by Member Johnston. Any comments or questions? Discussion. Mr. Nelson, you're getting off easy here today. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you very much. Thanks, Craig, for coming. We'll go on to Behavioral Health Coordinating Council. And we do have with us Vanessa Granger Belcher to join us. And so we'll go on. Now, maybe I'm following a different process here, but usually I think Executive Committee presents these. I'm wondering if Granger Belcher, item D1, would you go ahead and present for us then, and we'll take motions that way.
Okay, item D1, request approval of a proposal and license and service agreement addendum to the proposal with CureMD.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Martin, second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. You have the floor.
Okay, 1D, D2, request of approval of the Mental Health Action Plan Update 2022.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Johnston, second by Member Schaefer. All in favor? Wait a minute, discussion. There is a correction, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
correction on page 94, under notable gaps, the third and fourth paragraphs. I'd like to have those removed because they are duplicate paragraphs from page 91, and that was not caught. So, pardon? On page 94, under notable gaps, the third and fourth paragraphs, they are duplicated. That's duplicated, and it actually belongs on page 91 where it is.
So this is basically just a clerical
Yeah,
error,
clerical.
error, so we can do without objection? Any objection to removing that section, which is repeating itself, right? Okay, good. Any other comments or discussion? Yes, sir. Member Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since this is a pretty substantial document, and I know there are a lot of the general public that are interested in this, is this available to other people, or is it online, or if you want to look at this, how do you do that?
Go ahead. Either one of you.
Oh, sorry. The drafts that we have been creating of this document have not been available for public viewing because they were just that, drafts. But upon the approval and adoption by the board, we will make that available
Thursday
on
night.
the Behavioral Health Coordinating Council section of our website.
On Friday.
Okay, it seems like the interest sometimes wanes and waxes or whatever, however you want to put it. But I think, to me, there's a lot of interest in it right now. So, again, I appreciate the fact we're getting this and I look forward to seeing it.
Member Johnston?
Thank you. I was going to make a similar request. The public is very interested in what this contains. And if we're going to post it after the board's approval, I'm all in favor of that. Is there any way that we could get an electronic copy in the hands of the board members before to read prior to Thursday's meeting? Because I'm assuming we'll vote on it on Thursday.
I think we're giving them to them. Excuse me, go ahead.
Yes, we can make that available.
Okay, thank you.
Electronically, besides the packet copy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Mhm. Anyone else? Member Schaefer?
I just want to say that there were 25 people that wrote sections of this mental health action plan, and very much a community project. And I'd like to publicly thank all of those individuals who wrote sections for this, and everyone who contributed to the update, because I think it's a pretty good update.
Okay. Member Went?
Since I just got this today, I'm going to pass on it because I haven't had a chance to even read it, so I will not be voting on it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is passed. Thank you very much. We'll go on to item C,
D3,
or D3, I'm sorry.
intergovernmental agreement with the Regional Office of Education for Behavioral Health.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by member Solner, second by member Johnston. Comments or questions? This is a bridge program? Yes, it is. Okay. All those who have been in meetings and involved with BHCC are at least very well aware of what's going on with that. Okay. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. And we are done. I don't have anything else we need to do. You've got your Behavioral Health Coordinating Council report there. So we'll move on to Finance Committee, Chairman Mesker. I'm sorry, Vice Chairman Thompson. He's not here either. Who's the senior member? Okay. Not on? You're not on. You're not on. George isn't on. You don't have anybody on. Chuck. Well, that makes it me by rule, I believe. Let's go ahead with the Finance Committee report. It'll be my responsibility by rule, I believe, at this time. B1A, request approval and Animal Control Center agreement with the town of Normal. And we can combine these two because the other one's an agreement to provide animal warden services. So I'll move item A and B. Is there a second? Second by member Solner. Any questions about this? This is our usual housekeeping process. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has carried, and we will go on to the Health Committee report. Chairman Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has no items for action today, but we will have something for the board.
Okay, now we're going to the Justice Committee. Yep. Okay, thank you.
This is, I'm hoping member Schaefer can answer this since there's no member of the Finance Committee. I listened to the, to the Finance Committee,
Health Committee or Finance?
no, well, actually on Finance, but this
Okay.
concerns member Schaefer. About F, if you look above there, request approval for a nursing home request for increase in starting wages for LPNs. The director of the nursing home said that we would save $95,000 per person by doing this. What in the world do we pay those people now?
You mean the ones that we would save?
Yeah,
They're quite expensive. I think it's like about $40 an hour, compared to, I think, like 24 is, or 27 as to what we're raising the rate to, but it's like $40 to $50 an hour.
and we're talking about four, right now, is there four of those, I think
Four,
they said?
mhm.
Wow. So obviously, this is it looks like this is a great move. I was just curious, if we were saving that kind of money, what they were initially getting.
Yeah,
so.
agencies, it's agency staff, and one of the goals is to reduce the amount of agency staff that we use because they are so expensive, so.
And we've been doing that with the CNAs. Have we been decreasing some of the agency staff of CNAs also?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think the biggest problem right now too is nurses,
Okay.
you know.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Again, that seemed, that's a lot of money. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Justice Committee, Vice Chairman Martin. No? I'm sorry, when?
Oh,
We moved around again after that last change.
oh yeah, Chuck's not here. Okay, well, I didn't realize
No.
that.
We didn't hear from him either.
Let's see, item personnel for action. Oh, we have one item for action, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2022 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for CAC and CASA. I so move.
Motion
That's
by
okay.
Vice Chairman Wentz, second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 items to present to the board. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Property Committee report, Vice Chairman Johnston.
Property Committee has no items for action, and we'll be presenting 2 items to the board, and that's it for us today.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll go on to report of the Land Use and Transportation Committee, Chairman Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Land Use and Transportation Committee has no items for action. They have several items to present the board on Thursday. I was going to comment on a couple of these. Obviously, you'll have an opportunity to see this when you get the full packet. But there was a couple of them I thought were interesting. If you look at 2B, there's the resolution to establish a no parking zone. That's near a cemetery. And the issue is not so much during funerals, but just when people are there to visit their loved ones, they may just pull off the road, walk into the cemetery, and it's kind of on the hill. It's a pretty dangerous area. So that's something that'll be coming to you. And then the other one I thought was interesting was F2H, request approval of a letter of intent to the Illinois Department of Transportation. And that's for jurisdiction change on highway near Carlock, where it crosses, the bridge crosses 74. There's always been a kind of question on who, in most interstate highway bridges, IDOT controls the actual bridge structure. And so they take care of it, they maintain it. Not necessarily the greatest in the world, but that's their responsibility. But the ramp leading on and off to the bridge was always a question, specifically on this one, who was maintaining it, and we found out that no one was. So what's going to happen is that IDOT's requesting us to take over the responsibility of maintaining it, but what they're going to do is they're going to fix it, they're going to make it good, and then we'll take it over. And so again, I know there's a lot of complaints from people in Carlock wondering, who's supposed to take care of this road, and luckily that will be answered. But again, I just thought it was interesting that it's another one of those things where nobody really knows who's in charge or who's responsible for it. So anyhow, other than that, we will have these items for our meeting on Thursday. Thank you.
We ran into that same situation when I-55 was built, and there seemed to be some kind of lobbying down in Springfield with IDOT. So we inherited somehow the overpass at Towanda. If you remember all the work that had to be done on that one for the whole surface and the whole bridge, and I think the one at Shirley. whereas you go on out of our county in both directions, and IDOT took 'em. So that's just something we have to deal with. And then this area you're talking about, is no man's land, it's in between the two. So if we can get them to do anything that, that, or if we can help them take it over, that would be nice.
Right.
Yes, we could.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go on to the report of the county administrator. Ms. Taylor?
Thank you, Chairman McIntyre. I have 3 items to present for action tonight. The first being G1A, request approval of a resolution of the McLean County Board continuing the declaration of a disaster.
Okay, is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Schaefer, second by Member Martin. Comments or questions?
Why are we extending that since the emergency seems to be over?
Okay.
Well, there are still opportunities for funds to recoup our costs, and according to the Health Department, we're not out of the woods yet. The latest statistics I've received from the Public Health Department are that our positives for 2020 almost exceed our positives for 2021 already this year. And so in January and February of this year, we had a need for housing for homeless when they had outbreaks in the shelters. And so I believe that continuing our resolution of a disaster would help us recoup any costs that we might from our partners.
Who determines whether we are experienced another round of this? What determines it?
Statistics from the CDC and IDPH.
And so then we have to follow their rules.
Well, they're not rules, Member Went, they're just their statistics on outbreaks. And so it's for us to discern.
And what kind of
how we wanna
outbreak
manage that.
would trigger us into an emergency? I mean, what are they saying? What's the definition that would bring us forward? What would they say an outbreak is?
It's not the fact that it is an emergency, it's an extension of what was an emergency, and what we're talking about is drawing a line when the end is, so we can get paid. So when there's still bills that have to come in to be paid, we don't want to say, oh, we don't want them. We don't want to just drop it, so that's why the emergency declaration has to remain. It's just an extension of what we did 2 years ago. But now,
It's been 2 years.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is what would make it be an outbreak? What percentage of the people have to get it for it to be an outbreak?
you know what, if there wasn't even any right now, we'd still have to extend this in order to get our money.
And I don't have that figure for you.
So, and there is, as you're saying.
Mhm.
So we're basically
still
extending
testing
it
you.
just to get the money. The
Yeah.
outbreak may be
That's what I'm
minuscule.
saying, but you can hold me accountable on that.
No,
But
I'm-
basically, there's still things going on that are gonna cost.
I just want to clarify because we've gotten a huge amount of money.
Well,
My
should we
understanding-
go to the Board of Health and tell them, look, stop the testing? We're
Well,
not gonna deal anymore with anybody that catches COVID. You see,
Well,
and that's not where we are yet. It's still going
no,
on.
but the cases recently have been so mild, they've been milder than most flus.
Except for the people that have
Hmm?
passed away, except for the people who have died. We had 7 last month.
Well,
this county.
what did they die from? Did they die from the virus or did they die from other issues?
Well, that's a matter of them
Well, I know it's-
classification. There's professionals that are doing it. I'm assuming they were told, I don't know, Randy, you're out
No,
there.
there's
I'm assuming
quite-
there are people at the
Yeah,
hospitals.
well,
they're
there's quite a
saying
few
they had
reports where
COVID.
people are getting their death certificates read the virus when they actually died from other causes. So, I mean, that's a known fact that there's a lot of that going on. So I'm just curious as what is the mark that would, and you don't know, the health department sets up that
Through the
figure.
Illinois Department of Public Health.
Well, I'd be very curious at how many cases they're talking about. And if they're talking about so many deaths, you're gonna have so many deaths no matter what, whether you got the virus or not. And as I know from personal experience, that this new strain of virus is very mild.
Now, we're
and
gonna
it's
get into a
less
debate
than
here,
flu.
but you prided yourself in being a good businessman.
What?
And in order for us to get paid, we're gonna have to extend this.
What's that now?
You know, being a good businessman and being good, keepers of our money, we definitely want to be sure we do what is required for us to get paid.
Yeah, we're keeping it open so we can get federal money, I guess is what we're saying. That's basically what we're doing.
That's what I was saying.
Yes.
Now, that's just me.
And then we're relying on the health department to give us whatever figure they come up with, makes it an emergency.
Well, I have a lot of confidence in what they're doing over there. They've worked endlessly for the last 2 years. And the Board of Health has too. They've had a lot of scrutiny, right and wrong, as we have at times too. And so I think at this point in time, we definitely want to continue this declaration until it's all closed up and done.
Well, I know from some people in the funeral business that all of a sudden certain types of deaths are not being recorded.
I'm sure that's
And they're
happening.
coming in as virus when they, like one funeral director said to me, I guess they cured all these other things in the last 3 months. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any other comments? If not, we have a motion and second on the floor. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Motion has carried. We'll go on to item C. Item B, sorry.
Thank you, Chairman. The next item is a request for approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2021 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance, and this is related to ARPA funding.
This is ARPA funding money. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Martin, second by Member Johnston. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? That motion has carried.
And lastly, I have G1C, request approval of a resolution of the McLean County Board amending the rules of the McLean County Board as contained within Chapter 20 of the McLean County Code. This is in relation to combining our two committees to the Land Use and Transportation
So
Committee.
this is basically for legislation that originates in land use or vice versa. And they can vet it if it comes out of ZBA. I think it was something Member Erickson and probably Member Went at one time your land use chairman wanted for us to do as well. Is there a motion? Motion by Member Metzger? Member Metzger. You know, I guess I must be in the habit of looking at signs, right? Member Thompson, is there a second? Second by Member Johnson. Comments? Questions? All in favor, please say aye. And opposed? Motion is carried. We're down to other business and communication. Anybody have anything? Member Solner?
I wanted to remind everyone that tomorrow morning at 7:30 is the State of the County presentation by Chairman McIntyre, and I'm looking forward to hearing the state of the county. Thank you.
Okay. I have one, you will expect and stand up a couple more appointments that I've had since the time that the packet was put together for exec. I think at least two. Do we have more than two?
There are two reappointments that didn't get
And
called
two
in
other
until after.
reappointments of
Exactly.
people that are currently serving on the board. And so we will make sure that you see those. And one of them is Dr. Lisa Yambe, who's agreed to fulfill the vacancy on the Board of Health. I'm very happy that she's on board with that. And another one is a lady that I met and interviewed, Mimuna Lee, and she would be for Public Building Commission. And she's a very good fit. I've been very impressed with those people and some of the appointments that we have this month. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. We have a transfer item. Anybody else have anything for business, other business? I have a transfer item for the amount of $3,800 for some computer purchases and some equipment. So I need a motion to approve the transfer first. Motion by Member Schaefer, second by Member Solner. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed? Motion is carried. We also have a couple other items of bill. We have regional planning, a budget which has to be approved separately. Expenditures for $10,291.37. And then we have Also, our usual ones are general fund, shared sales tax, Veterans Administration, and American Rescue Plan money now. And these are available if you would like to see them again, for $463,807.67. So I need a motion to approve the bills and pay the bills. Member Johnson, Thompson. Sorry about that. It's been a long day again. Second by anyone, Member Johnson. Any comments or questions? Thank you very much. All in favor, say aye. And opposed? Motion is carried. And this meeting is not quite adjourned because Mr. Erickson just came adjourned. We're done. Thank you.
He adjourned.
I did. I did.